All right, we're going to try this again. So we are on National Geographic Society's interactive map and map making tool device. It's really cool website. And we're going to learn a little bit about latitude and longitude today. And the map that we have on display here is a map of the world. But you'll notice that it's not round. It's as though the world was put in it, and it was spread out flat. And that type of look in the map is called a Mercator projection. I've also heard that name pronounced Mercator, but I'm pretty sure it's Mercator projection, named after Gerardus Mercator. Now, on our world map here, you will notice that there are some lines that run across and up and down. So the lines that run across are called lines of latitude lines. And you'll notice the one that's right in the center is also known as the equator. And there's a numbering system for latitude and longitude lines. And you'll see that the equator has a 0 for its number, and the units in which we measure latitude and longitude, the units are degrees. So the equator is 0 degrees. And I'm going to mark the equator here with a red line like that so that we can really see it. And you'll notice that the line splits the Earth into two pieces, two halves, and those halves are called hemispheres. Hemi, H-E-M-I, is a piece of the word hemispheres, and hemi is a word root meaning half of a sphere. So we have the northern half, and that's all the area above the equator, and the southern half, which is the area below the equator. So we have a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. Now the latitude lines, they run back and forth or horizontally. Now the word latitude, that piece of the word in the front, lat, of latitude. Lat means lines or sides in the old Latin language. So latitude, lines running from side to side. Now we have here the lines going up and down or around the Earth. Those are called longitude lines. Notice that the beginning of the word has the word long in it, L-O-N-G, longitude. And so if you think long, as in vertical, up and down, tall, those are longitude lines. All the longitude lines run around vertically around the globe. So if you can imagine looking at a globe, they will all intersect at the top and bottom of the globe. So the spot where they intersect at the top and the bottom would be the North Pole and the South Pole. The North Pole in the northern hemisphere and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. You'll see that the main central longitude line is also marked with a 0. It has a special name because it's the main line of longitude, and that's called the prime meridian. So longitude lines are also known as meridians. The word meridian starts with the letters M-E-R, mer, and in the old language, the old Latin language, mer referred to large bodies of water, such as oceans or seas or large lakes. And of course, our planet is made primarily from large bodies of water. So, meridian. The prime meridian runs around the Earth, around the globe, and splits or divides it into two equal sections, still called hemispheres. So to the left of the prime meridian would be west, the western hemisphere, and to the right of the prime meridian would be the eastern hemisphere. So you're going to see on our really cool map that all the continents are represented on this map. So over here we have Australia, and down at the southern end of the Earth we have Antarctica, and up here we have Asia, Europe, Africa, South America, and North America. We're going to mark North America with a purple line. There we go. North America, that's the continent in which we live. And right here in the middle, where the words are, that is the United States portion of North America. Below it is Mexico, and above it is Canada. So what is the point of having latitude and longitude lines? Well, these lines and the numbering system connected to these lines, which are imaginary. There's not really lines running on the Earth. This is just a way to communicate where locations are. And map makers are called cartographers. And cartographers can communicate where different things are on the map using latitude and longitude coordinates. So the unit that we measure longitude and latitude in is known as degrees. Each degree can be broken down further into minutes. Each degree has 60 minutes, and each minute has 60 seconds. So we could become very, very precise about a location using the entire system of degrees, minutes, and seconds. But for our purposes today, I've just put a little dot here. Let's make that dot a little right here in the middle of Australia, a green dot, so that we can practice using the system. So remember, it's a system of numbers and the directions, the cardinal directions of north, south, east, and west. Now I put this green dot directly on the intersection of a latitude line and longitude line so that we can practice using the coordinates. So we'll start with latitude. So here's the 0 degree at the equator, 0 degrees. The next line down is where the green dot is, and that's 20 degrees. Because it is below or south of the equator, we call that 20 degrees south. It is also, now we use the numbers down here or up at the top in order to talk about the meridians or the longitude. And you'll see it bends around here and it intersects here, and that number is 140. So it is also 140 degrees east of the prime meridian. So the location of this green dot is at 20 degrees south 140 degrees east.